Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. I've been cranking out a lot of videos of late because it's been the first time in a very long time that I've had a bit of breathing space. So I thought I'd focus on the more educational type of content, i.e. how I think the market will go after I've dissected it a bit and how I think it works. I put these types of videos out because I like putting them out. You know, I like educating. That's where I'm at in life. So yeah, I hope you take something from it. If you do take something from it, support me by now. You can do that by liking, commenting, and subscribing. It is a symbiotic relationship in the sense that I do well because you like my content. It's kind of economics, really. Like every time I do something right, you pat me on the back and I get bigger. It's kind of like running a business. So yeah, let's get into it. The topic for today is silver a dead investment now that we've come out of Europe and have to pay VAT on it? I've been hearing this a lot. So there's a lot of people that contacted me saying, hey Sean, what do you think of silver with the whole VAT situation? Do you think it's kind of done now? Or do you think the rules of the game have changed slightly? My response is this. I actually think that there's just going to be a new... Or whereas before there was an artificially low price due to one market component in part of Europe that allowed for people to buy cheaper silver via a few countries. I think it was Belgium, Germany and Estonia. This has now been closed up. What that meant though was the majority of people who were buying silver were buying via either the mint or one of the bullion dealers or coin shops in the UK, and they were paying 20% over anyway. So most of the market was already paying 20% over, and they didn't seem to think it was a dead market, because if they did believe it was a dead market, they wouldn't have bought in the first place. Then people moved over to ordering from these countries. The more or the savvier people got, the more they would, or the more they were inclined to buy from these companies. And it artificially lowered the price. But now this loophole's been closed up. You have to either smuggle it, which is illegal, or you have to pay the going rate. And if you have to pay the going rate, all that means is that the lower bound has been lifted. It's not a case of you buy for spot plus VAT plus the cut and you sell for spot. That doesn't really work that way. There's so many different ways that you can offload silver, and the type of people who are savvy enough to, or who were savvy enough to buy silver from those countries prior, they're the type of people who don't tend to sell to dealers. They're the type of people who sell on your peer-to-peer market. So the idea that silver is dead is, to me, I don't think it's stupid, but I think it's more irrational. I think it's an irrational idea based off the fact that you want to minimize the spread. And we know, well, I know, and those of you who watch my channel know, that you can increase your chances by diversification with lots of different types of coins. That's why I've got all these coins on the table. They are very different in terms of what type of silver they are. So, for example, this coin here, if you'd bought it and paid VAT at the start, you'd still probably be making maybe 50, 60, 70% return on your investment. So would you have been wrong to pay VAT on it? No, of course not. This type of coin here, before I bought these from the European Union, I bought them from a gentleman, so there was no sales tax on it. It was bought from an individual. Currently, if I was to do the same, I'd have to pay a collector's rate of 5% over, and then I would pay, it would be the marginal rate, which would be on the profits. So again, I'm not paying 20% on these if I was to buy them now, because they are collector's coins. Now, I've been having a lot of issues with HMRC. I've had various phone calls with them to determine what a precious metal is. It's like nailing jelly to a wall. They do not want to give any ground on what their own definition is. However, I've come to the conclusion that I am right off the back of the sheer amount of companies who logically follow it word by word to determine what a precious metal is. So this is another one of my arguments, in the sense that I've just set up a business and the idea is I won't be selling with VAT on top anyway, because I don't need to. From what the government states, if I buy these in a second-hand setting and I pay over spot, it's not deemed a precious metal according to the government. And this is where the other coin companies are going. So you've got the option of going down the VAT route, where it improves the upper lower bound in terms of when you come to sell, especially to the peer-to-peer market. Or you can even go to the professional route and come to someone like me who will pay you more than spot because I have to, because otherwise it's determined as a precious metal, and I can pay you more than spot anyway. So if you're buying peer-to-peer and selling to professional dealers such as myself, the chances are you're actually going to do okay. If you go to a precious metal dealer who's paying on the spot, they're going to have to charge you 20%, and then the cycle kind of repeats. But no, I don't think overall that it's going to be an issue with the 20%. I don't think it's it's their money you pay in the VAT. I think there's certain coins where I would happily pay the VAT as an individual, because I know the chances are they're going to be a good bet. And if I'm selling it on the peer-to-peer market, it just kind of keeps the bottom end of the boundary up, or the bottom end of the limit up, sorry, in terms of what the price can be. Because people are not going to say spot is £20 and they're paying £30 for a coin. They're not going to cash it in for £20. It's not going to happen, not a collectible coin anyway. Or they'd be, I don't want to say stupid to do it, but they'd have to be maybe desperate to do it. Because the reality is you can go to many parts of the market, such as eBay, or to a dealer like me, or the peer-to-peer market, the Silver Farm, which I'm not promoting. I'm not a fan of them personally, but you could go there. You could go to the Facebook groups. You could go to Craigslist. There's so many different areas you can go where you're going to achieve more bang for your buck when selling. And if the price has been restored to the initial 20% on top, it's just going to move that up. So yeah, I wouldn't particularly worry about it. I don't think it's an issue personally. There's certain coins where, like these, where you're not going to pay it. If you go to certain dealers, you're not even going to pay the 20%. So it's kind of a non-point on that. So for example, I'll give you an example. If I'm buying this in and I paid 1 penny over spot, then I can sell it to you realistically for £26 or £25, £26. And I would pay the VAT on the profit rather than the VAT at 20%, claim it in and claim it out. I know it's a lot to get your head around, but it doesn't really mean much. You need to look at what the fair price is across the market. So say, for example, this has been bought in a way where VAT has to go on top of it, but the end of VAT price is £24. So they're selling it for spot plus VAT. Say it's £24. However, I'm selling it for £26 or £25, £26. Does it matter that this coin has no VAT on it? No. You go for the cheaper option. So you always need to kind of move for or search for the cheaper option, the better deals. And there are deals to be had. Now, there's a lot of people who want to be dealers. The reality is not everyone can be a dealer. It's a ridiculously hard job if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have the experience, and if you don't have the financial firepower. Really, really difficult. However, a lot of individual stackers, they can do well just by buying savvy. It's just what was savvy before will change into something different. Savvy before was paying reduced VAT. Savvy now is probably identifying the future winners, or buying coins that are being underpriced by some dealers. You know, you can cross-compare dealers. So I make very, very good money, and probably enough money as a dealer, sniping coins from other dealers. And this is a perfect example. Snipe these. There may be 100% in these. I can't remember what there is in these. I sniped a coin the other day. There's probably about £40-50 in it, or 100% margin. There's plenty of opportunities to find these deals and to profit for them, but you need to be more of an active buyer rather than focus on being a passive buyer and worrying about what VAT is or if it's going to hinder your progress. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it makes sense. I hope I haven't gone round in circles. It's kind of a complex topic that when I speak to some people about, they're like, but I don't get what you mean. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. Take care, guys. Bye.